Good evening. I'm your host, Modesty, and welcome to the Celebrity Spotlight Live talk show, where we take beyond the lights, the cameras, and the action of celebs, authors, actors, chefs, movie critics, businessmen, and businesswomen, and other noteworthy professionals. Our guest is from Manassas, VA. I believe that's Route 235 around Interstate 64, 65. Am I right, Tiffani?
It's around Route 234, around Interstate 66, but you were close.
I was very close. All right,
Yes.
near Interstate 66. She is Tiffani Clements. Tiffani is a PR professional, and she's also the co-host of the Spot Real Talk Show. Welcome, Tiffani. And once again, how are you this evening, my dear?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
You are more than welcome. We're so excited to have you. Thanks for being our guest. For the next 15 to 30 minutes, we're going to talk to Tiffani about her profession as a public relations professional, and also her co-hosting as of the Spot Real Talk Show. PR is a very intriguing profession, Tiffani, especially as it relates to an entertainment PR professional. And I believe that it can also be challenging, especially if a client is a, quote, bad girl or a bad boy. But, but nevertheless, we're going to talk to you about your journey as a PR professional, and then we'll segue into you being the co-host. When did your interest in public relations begin, Tiffani?
It began in the 90s when I was in undergrad. I attended George Mason University.
Okay.
And I was an English major there. And initially, I was planning to go to law school.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, and one of my professors there was like, law school is cool, but, when I read your papers and read your writing, you have such a voice. So he was like, why don't you consider journalism? He said, I really think you should do something with your writing.
Wow.
And I just started looking into journalism. And at the time, in addition to going to college, I worked full time. So when I started looking at journalism in the salary range, and at the time I was a young single mother, I had just gone through a divorce. And so when I looked at the entry level salaries for journalism, I was like, I might have to go backwards, because I know that, journalism,
right.
You don't start making real money until you start climbing up the ladder.
Right.
So then I learned about PR, and I was like, okay, this sounds good, because I can still, learn about journalism. I can still practice it and still work with the media and get to write and still have like a lucrative career, enough to provide for myself and my son.
Definitely. Wow, that's interesting. From wanting to become an attorney now, an attorney and PR professional, that is there's a wide gap between being an attorney and being a PR professional. But I'll tell you this much. I would say, and I'm sure you would probably agree with me, that what you're doing is probably more fun.
It is.
It's more fun, And what is it that you like most about being a PR professional, Tiffani?
Being able to, I love writing, first off.
Okay.
But also, the journey has allowed me to meet a lot of interesting people. I did PR for the public sector, so that's i.e. the government and things.
Okay.
And I had the opportunity to interact with a lot of celebrities too, but also a lot of politicians. For instance, I got a chance to staff events with like Colin Powell and Joe Biden, and even two events with former President Bush and Vice President Cheney, two of them, and so forth. So I've had a lot of fun interacting with those individuals. Got a chance to work at an event with Magic Johnson and things. So
Great.
Yeah, so that type of thing is exciting. And even for one event I planned, I was able to get Kwame Jackson, who was the first runner-up for the first season of The Apprentice, to come to one of our conferences and things. So that was really cool.
Wow, that is very cool. Going back to politics, it's interesting that you had mentioned that you were doing PR for politics, because I have in the past, I have a semi-long volunteer profile of various organizations that I've helped, the Bowery Mission, charitable organizations that feed the hungry, etc. And one time I did work on although I'm not Republican, praise him, no. At one time I did work on, praise him, although one time I did work for the Republican National Convention when it was in New York City several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a demo now, and it was quite interesting because, just like you said, you meet so many people, and sometimes being in that atmosphere, you see people that you've seen on television.
Mm-hmm.
You run into other journalists, you run into reporters, and it can be quite exciting. But what I like most about what I was doing is I think it was the food. But anyway, we're going to because I love to eat.
I'm a foodie too.
You are a foodie too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that is great. You've had an opportunity. Now, have you worked with any, other than Magic Johnson, have you worked with other celebrities, or do you desire to work with other celebrities like actors, actresses, or R&B artists or hip-hop artists, etc.?
Well, actually, my other hat that I wear that I didn't even mention to you, I'm a co-owner of an entertainment management company, L&T Entertainment Management. And I have a business partner, LaWanda, and she is an attorney, but she's also a screenwriter and writer, and she's trying to shop her scripts and things. And we manage 2 dope hip-hop artists. One is Bucky Malone. Yeah, Bucky Malone from Virginia, and Crown Marquise out of St. Petersburg, Florida. He now resides in Florida. So for them, I was doing a little bit of PR for them. They're up and coming. They've done some great things. Bucky Malone has worked with the A$AP Mob's producer, A$AP Ty Beats, and he just put out a single, the Wishlist remix, with Bobby Blaze from Virginia and one of A$AP Rocky's artists, Trees Low Key. And Crown Marquise has a new project out, Afro, and he has opened for Kevin Gates and has been on the Sway in the Morning Show. So I was doing a little bit of PR for them to help them out, but I've since ceded that PR position to another publicist that has, more entertainment relationship with the reporters.
Right. And it's interesting that you said that as well. It says something about you. You're humble about what it is that you're doing, and you recognize what your lane is. And that is important, because when we don't recognize what our lane is, it's just like driving a car. When we get out of our lane, we might end up crashing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we might end up crashing or running into somebody because we didn't stay in we got into the fast lane. When we drive slow, and then we're trying to get off an exit and trying to go somewhere, trying to reach a certain destination. But you stayed in your lane, and that's the most important thing, because when you stay in your lane, you will be more successful, and I would say will take you a shorter period of time to get where you need to go or to reach your goals, as opposed to you doing something that personally that you don't have as much experience in as you should. So that was a very humble move on your part, and we applaud you there for that.
Thank you. At the end of the day, I wanted the best for them. And even though I know that I'm a great PR professional, I know that the entertainment realm, I'm still making those contacts. So I figured someone who was more seasoned in that realm would be more beneficial to them.
Exactly. And that shows, again, that you're selfless, because nowadays it seems like dollar signs, zeros, and decimal points are ruling in the world, and it does not matter what people have to do to get what they need to get. They're willing to do it, and this is a great time, I would say, to be a PR professional, because there is not a dull moment, not a day, Tiffani, goes by that something isn't going on, especially in the world of entertainment. There's always something going on. So, okay, my dear, we're going to segue. We have a few more minutes left. We're going to segue into you being the co-host of the Spot Real Talk show. Now,
great.
as a child, were you ever camera shy?
Yes. And still a little shy.
Still
a little shy. I have two sides of the personality. There's one that's just outgoing. I'm an ENFP, so I can be extroverted, but there's times that I crave my solitude, and I can be introverted and shy as well. So yeah, I think in recent years I've really started coming out of my shell.
Okay, and that's definitely needed, especially with the profession, that you're in. And so did you ever dream of, though, being a talk show host, the other side of you that likes to go out? The other side of Tiffani, that's the extrovert.
The other side of Tiffani. You know what? We kind of fell into it. And how we fell into it, like my co-host and I, we are avid Power fans. And we were so passionate with our discussions and things. Right. I said, you know what, we need to do something with this. And, so it started with Power. We're doing other shows now, and the Spot Real Talk will focus on other topics. Like we have an upcoming show. It'll probably be 2-3 parts that will focus on Black love and relationships in the Black community.
That's great.
And so, but it stemmed from Power.
Wow. It's interesting you mentioned Power, because Power is, I would say, my number one late-night television show. Now, granted, there have been times when I've had to, stick up one finger like I'm in the church and say, okay, I don't want to see that, and go to another room of the house. But nevertheless, the actors they have all mastered their craft, and I look at it from that standpoint, from the very sensual scenes that Ghost had to do with Angie, over the top to a certain extent. Of course, it can't be on television like that, but that's cable, and it's pretty much uncensored as far as regular television is concerned. But they have all mastered their craft. And coming from a religious background, we're very careful what we watch, what we allow to go into our ear gates, our eye gates, and our spirits, because you don't want to be on your knees and praying and then a curse, fly across your mind, and you're like, huh? Where did that come from?
I understand. I'm also a Christian, so I definitely can relate.
Yeah, so, when you look at it from that standpoint of view, Power and the actors and actresses and what it takes to do what they're doing, that's how I look at it, and I applaud them for being able to come out of themselves like that, because everyone can't do that. Everyone can't do that. Some people can learn, you can go to school, but some people have mastered not being who they really are, and that's what it's all about. But, yes, Power is like number one on my list. I can't do a whole lot of, when I say can't do, I don't watch a whole lot of the other series. They're good too, the acting is good too, but Power, it's to me, I'm not going to say it's relative, because I don't know anything about dealing drugs or anything like that, but as far as the relationship and as far as being ride or die, that's the part. Come on here, Tiffani. That's
ready to go there, because we argue a lot. My co-host Ron and Sierra and I about who's ride or die with the Power show, because my co-host Tiara and I are kind of like Team Tasha, and my co-host Ron is Team Ghost.
Oh my goodness!
And like Ghost and everything, but I just did not like the way he handled things with Angie, and he kind of, his kids suffered behind it, and that was my main point.
And we're seeing it now. The results of his, we're seeing it right now. So let me ask you this, Tiffani. Who named or how did the spot Real Talk get its name?
Oh, we thought about that because the spot, we named it that because we want to be able to film from wherever. Because the goal for the show is to be able to take the show global eventually, but you shoot in other cities, other states. Like we've shot from other locations, like in a restaurant, and we've shot at different town centers and have done man on the street things. But we want to do things like go to other cities. Like for instance, we wanted to go to New York and shoot there since Power is shot there, and we wanted to look at some of the demographics for our show. There's a lot of people in New York watching us, and like the top cities that have been watching us has been like New York, Florida, California, and now Maryland. Yeah, and so we were discussing there amongst ourselves that we should just go to some of these cities and shoot there, and let the people be a part of the show. So that was the purpose of the name, the spot, basically. Like, the spot can be anywhere. As a matter of fact, I was going to mention to you, because are you in New York?
I am.
Well, I was going to say that when we come to New York, maybe we can have you join us, because we do have guests on our show as well.
Oh, okay. Well, keep me abreast, my dear. Keep me informed and let me know, of course, ahead of time when you're going to be planning it and when it happens. Keep me informed, definitely.
Okay.
That's so nice of you, so kind of you. That's really nice of you. But that's a great idea. That's brilliant. I like your naming of it and the thought that's behind it. Now, we're getting ready to close now. Is there a talk show? We have two last questions. Is there a talk show that's on television now that you really like or love?
Talk show that there's a couple I like. Ellen.
Okay.
I like The Real. I even like Wendy Williams. I can watch Wendy too.
Okay.
Yeah. And even sometimes I'll catch Steve Harvey too. Oh, The View too. Yes, I do like The View.
And I think there's another one called The Talk. That's with Cheryl.
Yeah, The Talk is cool too. I like all of those.
Okay.
I don't know if I have a favorite among all of them.
Okay, but you like them. I do
like them.
You like them, yeah. I like The Real too. They were on a different channel or network prior to coming mainstream, and I think they became so popular that's why they moved them to Channel 5. But I've enjoyed their presentation. They get a little crazy, just like the rest of them. It's all about the ratings. It's all about the ratings. It's all about the ratings. But lastly, have you ever taken any tips? And I should have asked you this earlier, but I have it all the way at the bottom. Have you ever taken any tips as it relates to your PR work from Olivia Pope's character on Scandal?
Oh, absolutely. I apply her tips in my personal life, too.
Isn't that come on with it, Tiffani. I'm so good. See, the Lord must have given me that question to ask you. I have it all the way at number 10. Isn't that interesting? I didn't know if you was going to say yes, or I didn't know if you was going to say no. I
just recently bought my Olivia Pope coat, too. So I always take care of things. I call myself the closer. And I'm like Olivia Pope. It's handled.
Look at that. Handled. Look. Wonderful, wonderful. So, Tiffani, tell us, what is your contact information on Twitter and IG?
Okay. My contact is at TiffShay5 on both Twitter and Instagram.
Okay. And your YouTube channel
is The Spot Real Talk.
Okay.
Please check us out. I hope that I'm glad that we're on YouTube, but I hope that it goes to network. That would be a dream come true.
Well, honey, keep working on it. Keep speaking it. Keep thinking about it, keep believing it, and it will happen. In closing, there are two individuals that come to mind when you said that. One's name is Jamel, and I forgot the other person's name. But they're two sportscasters now, male and female.
ESPN, I follow Jamel.
Yes. They were off the net. They weren't always on ESPN. I think they were on YouTube or some other channel, and they were discovered giving their reviews and chatting it up about sports and about players, and that's how they were discovered, if I'm not mistaken. And now they're on ESPN.
Wow, and that's funny too because I'm also an avid sports fan.
Isn't that something? Listen, honey, you a whole lot of things, and everything that's in you is going to come out. Everything. Hold on one moment, dear.